You are listening to the Two and Out CFL podcast, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
As always, thanks for pressing play on a Two and Out. I'm Travis Currah, joined by Mr. Sheldon Jones as we give you our last episode of 2023 right before Christmas. Are you ready for the big day, Sheldon?
Yeah, this is like one of the first years where I'm like actually ready and I'm not scrambling for last minute gifts. I have to wrap a couple gifts, but I don't have to actually run out on Christmas Eve and buy gifts like usually I do. So I'm pretty happy this year.
That's nice. I actually had my gifts all wrapped up last Friday. I'm good to go. All I need to do is bring my jolliness and we will be good to go. I wanted to ask you, Sheldon, some favorite memories of opening presents growing up. Come on, the real meaning of Christmas is for the kids opening presents.
Yeah, no, I had lots of fun times. Like typically one of my favorite parts of Christmas wasn't actually opening a present. It was our dad. He would always take us out on Boxing Day to this place, Audio Warehouse in Regina, and we would get to pick and buy something. So that's like one of my more positive favorite memories. Yeah, it was awesome. But my sister twice got the gifts that I wanted. And one was like this awesome big red fire truck that I wanted. They gave it to her, and I can't even remember what I got that year. I was mad. And then I wanted a Game Boy.
Tag?
No. She just got it. But Game Boy, I wanted a Game Boy, and this is original gray when it came out Game Boy. Okay, I wanted it. I was like, I think I was 5, 6 when that came out.
Tetris.
They gave me the Game Boy, awesome, but they gave my sister one too, and they gave her a red one. Like,
oh no,
the cool one, and I got the original gray, which I wish I still had that thing. But yeah, I was kind of pissed off about that, to be honest. But like, she didn't deserve it yet. She got a TV the same time I did in the room. Like, that's not fair. When you're 2 years older, you should get things 2 years before.
I
can't do that because then the younger one gets jealous. Like, come on.
I remember when I got a Nintendo 64 for Christmas, and like obviously it was like a big ticket item, so I'm opening gifts and it's like tomato paste and spaghetti sauce, and I'm like rattled. My sister's getting all this great stuff, and there's one more, and it was the Nintendo 64. Man, did I pop for that one. Every Christmas I always would get in the stocking the Don Cherry Rock'em Sock'em videos, and I know that's not favorably looked at. No shame. I love the fighting. I love the hits. I'll go back and watch those videos. That's my preferred brand of hockey. And the Guinness Book of World Records, like, it's still to this day a goal of mine to get into that book. There's a lot of stupid records that I feel like I could break or set. So I think, I don't know, Two and Out Live, the return. What kind of Guinness World Record can I break?
I'm in there too.
You're in it too?
Yeah, let's do this. But yes, that would be amazing because I can't imagine having them every single year and having like the collection like it's an encyclopedia volume. But
there's some crazy stuff in there.
Yeah. Oh, I perused every now and then. I would get that book, but that would be amazing.
Let's get to some of the football news before Christmas. And I hope, by the way, you're enjoying kind of the new look show on YouTube. If you haven't joined us on YouTube yet, we're nearing 200 subscribers there. And not to pump our tires too much, but for the first time in Two and Out history, we have crossed 50,000 downloads audio-wise in a calendar year. I'm so grateful for that. So thanks for joining us all year long to talk CFL football and whatever the heck else comes to our minds. The BC Lions have signed Lawrence Woods III. He played 7 games with the Ticats this year. He made 20 tackles. He's also dangerous in the return game. So I think that's a pretty interesting signing for the Lions. The Bombers have extended Pat Neufeld for a year, the veteran offensive lineman. But Sheldon, there's still 2 veteran O-linemen out there in Jamarcus Hardrick and Stanley Bryant that haven't signed. If you're a betting man, do you see one or both of those guys returning?
I could possibly see one. I think maybe Hardrick resigns there, but Stanley Bryant, I think it's time for him to hang up the cleats. I think Father Time's caught up to him, unfortunately, and I'd rather see him go out while he's still one of the best, as opposed to seeing him kind of fall down a little bit like we saw this year. But Patty Newfield, that's the one that got away, man. Like I know we got something for that trade, like to help us in the immediate, but I always look back at what could have been if we still had Pat Newfield on the team. But again, he wasn't the level he was here there.
He
So
was heavily criticized in Sask
yeah,
towards the end of his
yeah,
career, and then what he became in Winnipeg and still is quite impressive.
yeah,
That just happens in the CFL, and when an O-line plays as a unit, I think that goes to show as well. These guys got to play as a unit.
absolutely.
The Champs have been busy. The Montreal Alouettes have extended a pile of players, including offensive lineman Jesse Gibbon, linebacker Tyrell Richards, but also the front office, the off-the-field stuff. Jason Moss has extended for 3 more years, and Danny Machocha for 4 more years. You look at what Moss did this past year, and even Machocha, he's drafted well. The guys that have been drafted have been impacts on the field right away. And then the way that the team was, written off last year with the ownership situation, and you've all heard about it, signing Sean Lemon, signing Darnell Sankey throughout the year to ending up winning the Grey Cup. He's done quite the job since returning from U Sports and the Caribbean, Sheldon.
Oh, for sure. And like I lost what I was gonna say there. Like they did. Oh yeah, sorry. They're following the Bombers prototype here, because after they won that first cup, then they got everyone back, all the important pieces, and they didn't let these guys have a chance to get away from them. So that locking up the core is huge for them, because well, I have a feeling that Toronto's going to lose some free agents, maybe hopefully to Saskatchewan. And so if Montreal can continue to keep their stockpile while seeing the other teams maybe losing some of their big ticket players, that's nothing but good for the Alouettes.
The Calgary Stampeders have extended offensive lineman Bryce Bell for 2 years, and one of the GOATs in the kicking game, Rene Paredes, is going to be back for 1 more year. He's at the point of his career when he's on a year-to-year thing.
Yeah, and, it's always been, this might be the last year. No, yeah. You're still going.
I feel like it's been like that for about 4 or 5 years.
Well, yeah,
he's back
like
again.
Ever since he started getting involved with the firefighting, like he always like, yeah, this might be my last year. Well, 4 years later, you're still kicking. Okay. But when you're as good as you are, it's hard to walk away, right?
That's true. Some NFL news. Nathan Rourke has been claimed off of waivers by Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. Now, this will be the final 3 games for Bill Belichick with the Patriots, so the end of an era there. But are we going to see him get on the field? They're a bad team. I mean, there's a chance he's going to get some playing time. I think that's exciting for all of us, right?
Well, yeah, regardless of if Belichick's going to be there or not, like the team still has to move on. So they obviously picked him up off the waivers for a reason.
Yeah.
And so it's basically like an extended training camp. You get to see I don't expect him to play all 3 games, but good for him, because he gets his full salary for those 3 games, and hope he is definitely have a better chance to get on the field there, because I think like Trevor Lawrence could have like broken his hand and literally they still wouldn't have played him in Jacksonville. It just seems like they just weren't willing to give him a shot no matter what. So good for him. Good for him. Hopefully he gets to see the field and show what he can do.
Hopefully he doesn't get wrecked, playing with a team that
Yeah.
hasn't been the best. CFL teams have unveiled 10 players from their NAG list. They've been doing that for the last little while, so you can peruse that on CFL.ca. Some Rough Rider news. They have extended defensive lineman Miles Brown and DB Amari Henderson. But, we're going to bring this up, Sheldon. Lake Corte Moore, the Canadian for the Riders, had a WWE tryout. And as both big wrestling fans, we know that they end up just recruiting a bunch of pure athletes and kind of molding them to their way. And I don't know. Best of luck to him. I'd love to see him get on NXT in 3 years or whatever they do when it comes to that.
Yeah, it seems like he's wanting to finish his career in football first. It seems like he kind of went down to just kind of see what it was for a possibility after his career is over. But yeah, like I guess they think he has the look and the athletic ability, and that would be awesome. I remember what's his face from the running back? He went in Toronto.
James
He
Wilder.
went down. James Wilder Jr. Yeah, he had a tryout down there too. Nothing came out of that. So it's WWE. They like to try out like hundreds of people a year. So it's like a needle in a haystack thing here, but definitely cool.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Maybe it's our path to getting CFL legacy titles. Well,
Triple H, come on.
I was actually talking to a guy like The Rock, Roman Reigns. They've got CFL connections. Like, make these belts happen. Look, I know they're probably $400 or $500 a piece, but I would have to try to find a way to get all 9 belts in the 2-and-out studio.
Shane McMahon gift repeated. Jeez.
Just maxing, the $10,000 credit card on CFL title belts. That would be awesome, though.
I've told Tammy if we ever win the lottery, like literally the first thing I'm buying is every belt on WWE Shop. Like that's literally, it's not paying off the house. It's not going on a big trip. I'm literally filling my cart with every belt, and then I just have to find somewhere to put them.
The best would be if you won like, $10K, which is a nice amount of money, but not enough to pay off a house or anything like that. And you just blew it all. WWE Shop.
Yeah, I'd get in trouble for that one, but
Yeah,
I did know. I had a friend back in the day. They won his pool. His part was like $6,000, but they won like $100,000 at the lottery, and he was single. He had nothing else going on, so he blew it all on like electronics, and I was like, that's gotta feel really nice.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. The CFL announcing that the Combine will be in Winnipeg next year and Regina in 2025. I don't think that it was in Edmonton this past year. That's cool to see. Cool that they're announcing those locations. I really hope and wish that the CFL week would come back. It seems like for the few people that took part in those festivities, they really enjoyed it. Breaking up the monotony of the offseason a little bit. Did you check it out in Regina?
Yeah, it was very well attended in Regina. Like, I swear they could do it every 2 years in Regina and it'd be fun. Like they could just go back and forth between Regina and Winnipeg, but like it was perfect. TSN was out there. They were able to do the shoot the players, the intros for the league, and us as fans, we got to see I got to see a panel with like Bo, Mike Riley, Matt Nichols, and the best quarterbacks in the league at that time. Like that's the type of thing you need to do to continue to build up your fan base and get the younger people involved. And doing things in the off season is a perfect way to do it. But it seems like the CFL doesn't understand that. That's frustrating.
It's probably a cost thing, if I'm being real, but
yeah, but that cost can be you get the host team to put in
yeah.
like Regina loves spending money on events. Like the Briar is coming here this year, and then so in 2025 they're gonna have the Combine, they're gonna have the Vanier Cup. Like
Mm-hmm.
Regina loves doing events, so like I'm sure the riders would put money in. They'd probably match what the CFL would put it. Like just it's spending money on marketing. That's what it is. And that's what the CFL needs to do.
Got to spend money to make money, my friend.
Absolutely.
Now, I thought it would be fun right before Christmas to maybe put a free agent under the tree for each team in the CFL. So I combed over the pending free agents in the Canadian Football League, and I tried to narrow it down to one Christmas present for each fan base. It's not easy to nail down one, but I think I did okay here. Now, for BC actually has a few notable free agents, including the most outstanding defensive player, and Matthew Betts, the Canadian, the sack record this year. He's a pending free agent, but so is receiver Keon Hatcher. So I put Keon Hatcher as the present under the tree. I feel like he's a versatile guy, a physical guy, and he has played every receiving position in the offense. So I put him there, but it'll be interesting to see if the Lions can hang on to both. Calgary has an interesting situation. I wonder if we're going to see a changing at the guard at running back there. Kadeem Carey's a free agent. Peyton Logan's a free agent. Dedrick Mills is a free agent.
Everybody's a free agent, man.
That's true.
Like, but
It's the
yeah,
1 year thing, and most teams have actually Montreal has been the busiest one, locking up their guys, and they're the champs. So I wonder if we're going to see like always, a pretty big shuffle come the new year and February. But I put Mike Rose down as a Christmas present for the Calgary Stampeders. Sometimes he does take some penalties. He has taken some silly ones here and there, but he is still a great D lineman and would be a great present for the Stamps. The team with maybe the lowest amount of free agents, surprisingly, is Edmonton. And they don't have the longest list out there. So I put down AC Leonard as their Christmas present. Hey, that guy was a threat in the receiving game and chasing quarterbacks around. So you got to keep the dual threat around.
and with urine technology. That's in the past. That's in the past.
Hey, if you've learned anything from the past co-host of Two and Out, keep beating them into the ground. Nothing lives into the past. Never forget it. Saskatchewan, I actually wasn't sure who to go with on the free agent list. There's quite a bit there. Sean Bain Jr. is a pending free agent, but I put Mario Alford just for selfish reasons. I love Super Mario, what he does. I love the excitement of the return. He started off on fire in 2023, and then it kind of cooled down as the season went on. But I put Super Mario down for my Christmas present anyway.
Yeah, no, he's very dynamic, and it's tough to argue, but there's a lot of free agent receivers, and the receivers are pretty good. So, uh, I'd have to say Emilus might be up there for who I'd want the Christmas present to be, because he had a breakout season, and I know he has that tryout down with the Cardinals, but he's the guy who I would want to lock up for sure.
Winnipeg is another team that has a long list of free agents, but I think it's the big two that we're thinking about here. It's Brady Oliveira and it's Dalton Schoen. Dalton Schoen is going to command a pretty big raise. He was on that 2-year rookie deal. And Brady Oliveira, just by virtue of the production that he had this past year, is going to command a pretty big raise as well. He's going to want to be the highest paid running back in the league. Probably close to 200.
Yeah, but I think he will take a hometown discount to stay. I think that's the one thing that they have working for them, because I think being from Winnipeg, being in that community is gonna shave off a little bit of the dollars. Like I think AJ Ouellette might be pretty close to that highest paid with Brady Oliveira, to be honest.
I think AJ and Thor deserve it. For sure. He's going to be an interesting one to watch in the offseason. Ottawa, I put down Lorenzo Malden the fourth. They've got some work to do in the offseason, but he's been an impact player since Sean Burke has taken over as the GM of the team. And then I looked at the Ticats. It's also a long list, but Tim White, a yardage beast, a receiving threat that the Ticats, I think, don't want to let go in this offseason. Toronto's list is an all-star team, man.
Come on down to Ryderville.
I don't know. Will they follow those defensive players, their former defensive coordinator and now head coach in Saskatchewan? That's going to be an interesting... It's been really quiet out of Toronto, and that hasn't really been the case over the last little while. That East final loss to Montreal might be the last time we see that dominant group together. But of course, some changes to be made with Chad Kelly getting paid. Andrew Harris is going to be gone, I'm assuming. Enoch Mwamba, assuming, going to be gone as well. I put down Wynton McManus as a present for the Toronto Argonauts, but Adarius Pickett's a free agent. Jamal Peters is a free agent.
Yeah. Sean Oakman.
Yeah.
Like AJ Ouellette. Come to Ryderville.
I know you're growing that mully, so it should look pretty good by June.
If the Riders could sign one player, I wish it to be AJ Ouellette.
That's your Christmas wish.
Yeah.
Do your job, Santa Claus, or Cupid, as Valentine's Day.
It's more Cupid. Yeah.
And Montreal's done a pretty darn good job of re-signing some free agents already since they've won the Grey Cup. But I put down Tyrese Beverette as a Christmas present for them, still listed as a pending free agent for the Montreal Alouettes. Well, for Sheldon Jones, I'm Travis Currah, wishing you and yours the safest, happiest, and healthy holiday season you can have. Thanks so much for joining us all season long, and this time right before Christmas. And we got some fun to have in 2024. Shell Dog, I know you're jacked.
I am jacked. Happy holidays to everyone, and we got some plans. We got some plans for the new year to build on what this show has become, and hopefully we can take it to that next level and just go on a fun ride with all y'all. So please hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
Thanks for not swearing. It gets tough to edit out, man.
You're welcome. That's my Christmas present to you.
Thanks, man. You can rate, review, and subscribe to Tune Out on your favorite podcatcher. And hit the YouTube, hit all that stuff, and Patreon as well. You can support the show on there. You'll get the shows earlier and earlier than anybody else, because you are the VIPs of Tune Out Nation. We're going to take a couple weeks off. We'll be back during the first week of 2024. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.